Good morning. Welcome to Vibrant Authentic Living. This is Nandi. So, we're going to be doing our lemon water feature in just a minute. But this morning, we're going to be talking about staying out of our children's way, staying out of the way of posterity. What do I mean by that? And why should we stay out of our children's way? So that's what I want to discuss this morning. Here's our lemon water feature in the time. All right, so why should we stay out of our children's way? What does that even mean? I'm going to start by humming or singing, whichever you want to call it. I don't know if it's going to qualify as singing, but it's a song actually. Actually, it's a poem that was written by Khalil Gibran, entitled "On Children." It was made popular as a song by Sweet Honey in the Rocks, and it's a song that talks about the fact that children do not belong to us. Children they're of this time, but they're really of the future. And I'm going to hum or slash sing the first verse, and it says, "Your children are not your children. They are the sons and the daughters of life's longing for itself. They come through you, but they are not from you. And though they are with you, they belong not to you. You can give them your love, but not your thoughts. They have their own thoughts. They have their own thoughts. You can house their bodies, but not their souls, for their souls dwell in a place of tomorrow, which you cannot visit, not even in your dreams. You can strive to be like them, but you cannot make them just like you. Strive to be like them, but you cannot make them just like you." Very deep poem, very deep song. So when you have a little time, you can check out the complete poem by Khalil Gibran, or you can look up Sweet Honey in the Rocks on Children. Very deep words, right? So we need to remember that in every generation, and this happened for us as well when we were children, our parents, we came through them, and the things that they held dear might not necessarily have been dear to us, or the things that they feared might not necessarily have caused any trepidation for us because we were made for a different time. Likewise, our children now, they were made for the future. So the things that we are terrified of, they were made for that. They came for that. Not to say that we should not ensure that we leave the best for our posterity, the best according to our standards, because every generation can only go by their standards, right? So as far as we are concerned, what is the ideal? We have to strive for that and ensure that we leave that, but they might come and their standards might be different. Their ideal might be different. I remember when we were nearing the year 2000 and there was this widespread chaos and trepidation regarding the changeover in the computer system, the changeover from the 1900s to the 2000s. And some of the experts were saying, we're not going to survive this changeover because all of the computers were built with 1900s code, right? And we made the transition. It was pretty smooth, at least by comparison to what others had predicted, right? There was a lot of doomsday. From time to time, there are doomsday predictions regarding catastrophes, regarding end of life on the planet, regarding, some are religious based and some are more secular, but the doomsday prophecy is not a new thing to the human experience. this generation of children, or up to young adults, they were made for this time. They are technologically advanced at birth, you could say. Some kids were born knowing how to do technological stuff, right? And I'm sure every adult watching this has had the experience where you had to call a youngster to come and sort out some technological thing that you had to do it, that was blowing your mind because this is not your time. Not to say that we have no part in this, right? We, during the span of a lifetime, let's say the average lifetime being 60, 70 years, during the span of that, you have a legitimate right to whatever is going on the planet at the time, right? But the younger generation, in any given era, the younger generation is equipped to deal with what is happening at that time and extending into the future, right? And as we go on, the generations pass over. So this is their era, this is their time, and we have to kind of get out of their way while still maintaining our legitimate right to the time and space, but understanding that for us, it is waning, and for them, it's just waxing. They're just coming into the fullness of their experience on the planet. So some of the things that cause us great anxiety, they're not necessarily going to be anxious about it, because they have the tools to cope. So what we need to do as parents is to just prepare them mentally as best as we can, prepare them for whatever is possible, whatever is likely, even not knowing what it is that is likely, but just prepare them. As the Desiderata says, we have to foster strength of spirit to shield us in sudden misfortune. You don't know what the misfortune is. You don't know what's likely to happen, but or which direction is going to come. We can't always predict. Sometimes we can make predictions, we can assume certain things, and we just have to be prepared mentally, especially. We have to prepare our children intellectually to be able to solve problems. And that is the basis of it, because we don't know what the new problems are going to be. We are doing things now that are going to create issues for our posterity. But who to tell when they get there? It might not be that much of a challenge because of the resources that they're going to have at their hands. But we don't know it. We don't know that. So we still have to work on the assumption that we want to leave the best. We want things to be as pristine as possible so that we hand over quality to them. And that's how we have to live our lives, in such a way that we can hand over the best to our posterity, all the while knowing that it's for them. We're at the tail end. We're at the tail end of it, and we're going to hand over the baton, and they are going to move it forward. And that's how it's going to be. They too will come to the point of realization that this is not theirs to have and to hold. They are going to have to hand it over, and they are going to have to try to hand over the best possible thing to their posterity, right? So really, I'm not a doomsday kind of person, right? I'm not somebody. I make preparations and I plan for any future eventuality, but I don't have at the back of my mind a doomsday prophecy that it's going to come to an end and, the sufferation, and I'm just not that kind of person. I'm a positive thinker and a positive doer, and my life is a result of my actions. So that's how I move forward, right? And that's how I would encourage anyone to move forward. And remember, our children are not our children, right? They are the sons and the daughters of life's longing for itself. They come through you, but they are not from you. And though they are with you, they belong not to you. You can give them your love, but not your thoughts. They have their own thoughts. You can house their bodies, but not their souls, for their souls dwell in a place of tomorrow, which you cannot visit, not even in your dreams. You can strive to be like them, but you cannot make them just like you. These are the words of Khalil Gibran, Lebanese poet. Go and look him up, read some of his poems, and also check out the rendition done by Sweet Honey in the Rocks. Very powerful song. So I'll see you tomorrow when we chat again.